women's attending weddings because I feel the market there was a very big market and no one was catering it in the custom fits. And something became very clear in my mind, like bridesmaids and sisters of the brides were struggling to find outfits that were modern, stylish, but functional at the same point. That's when the shift happened again. I started focusing on custom fits, getting clothes that felt personal, wearable, yet make them stand out. I paid attention to the minor details, like how the fit should fit on different body types, what kind of sleeves they felt comfortable in, and what how the dupatta sits when they dance. Because everyone is wants to dance at a wedding, enjoy the party, so you have to look at the functionality as well. And slowly and startedly, the word started spreading. Clients referred to me to their friends. One order became three, three became 10, and the label started growing organically. But I guess here's the point I want to take away from this. Like, first, maybe your first site may not work, and that is totally okay. What matters is your ability to learn and adapt. Also, if is there one thing I would done earlier, I would study the consumer. I would have studied the consumer better, and that's why what I appreciate the institute like ICF so much, that they don't just teach you design, they teach you how to think from the market's point of view. They prepare you for you to create fashion that is just not creative but commercial as well, and that is such a rare skill. Uh, if I could share my screen for my other phone, I would like to show you some of my work which I am currently producing for my new collection, which is about to come in June, I guess.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Do you have the share screen option?
Yeah, ma'am, I have the screen sharing option. Just give me a second.
So while I think Aaron is getting things in place for you to see, he just made a very interesting comment on the collection that he was making for a particular event in the wedding, which is dancing. So what I think is interesting here is, of course, you have to understand the market, where and what and who are the kind of people and what are their choices of clothing, of their budgets. अब हर कोई लाखों के सामान नहीं खरीदता है ना, कुछ का बजट भी होता है, तो कुछ अपने बजट के हिसाब से खरीदेंगे, कुछ अपने चॉइसेस के हिसाब से खरीदेंगे, सीजन पे डिपेंड करता है, उनका सोशल सर्कल पे डिपेंड करता है. However, that's the market. So consumers कहाँ कहाँ मिलेंगे, क्या क्या समझेंगे, कौन सा कंज्यूमर कहाँ पे जाके कपड़ा खरीदता है, कोई चांदनी चौक जाता है, कोई अम्बावटा या मेरोली चला जाता है, कोई कहीं जाता है. So there are plenty, कोई शाहपुर जाट जाता है, so there are plenty places. तो कौन सा कंज्यूमर कहाँ जाता है, उसका माइंडसेट क्या होता है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है समझने में. Having said that, जब हम डिजाइनिंग करते हैं, so we in class we always teach people, डिजाइनिंग में जब हम मार्केट को देखते हैं तो हम एक कंज्यूमर को देखते हैं और एक कस्टमर को देखते हैं. कस्टमर वो होता है जो आपसे आके खरीदता है, जरूरी नहीं है वो आपका प्रोडक्ट यूज करेगा. तो आपको दोनों तरफ मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजीज में कस्टम योर कस्टमर इज इम्पोर्टेंट. कहाँ खरीदता है, क्या खरीदता है, क्यों खरीदता है, कितना बजट्स में खरीदता है, ऑल ऑफ दैट इन द माइंड. बट व्हेन आई लुक एट अ कंज्यूमर इज somebody who wears it and is an actual user of your product. So like he said, वो डांस करना है तो हमारा जितना डिजाइनिंग होगा, हम बहुत फ्लाउंसी गाउन्स पहन लेंगे और हम उसमें भंगड़ा तो कर नहीं सकते ना. सो वी विल हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हमें क्या एक्टिविटी करना है वो गारमेंट पहन के, और उस एक्टिविटी के बेस पे हमें डिजाइनिंग करना है. तो it's really important to understand that, and he's made a very good point on that too. And here's his screen. So
Uh,
back to you.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hi everyone. Okay. So the picture I'm right now showing is you from. It's basically my inspiration for a fit. It's basically, if you see it, it's a broken glass which is spread everywhere. And I wanted the embroidery to look exactly like this. So let me just show you. See, if you see this now, this is the real embroidery. This is exactly inspired from the broken glass. It's from my new collection, which is probably, this one is a for the couture. It will probably get launched in August. But it what like my point is, what is that you can take inspiration from anything. If my inspiration from here was a broken glass, you can take inspiration from anywhere. Inspirations are everywhere. You just have to look around and be just creative about it. And see, this is how the basic things work behind the scenes. First, the karigars, we give them a sketch, then they put it onto the fabric and just do the pinning, and then do the all this chapai. We call this chapai. Then after doing that, then the material gets. We take the material out. What will look on the good on that fabric, and what vibe we are going with. Either we are going with Western or we are going with Indian. Then after deciding all that stuff, then we move towards this. After doing that, this comes out. And this is also not like कि if we have एक बार कर दिया and हो गया समझ आ गया. It takes a lot of try and errors before creating a collection. Sometimes some things will look good, something won't. So you have to keep looking and trying. See, and if you see this fit is basically a example of our customization, what we do. This client came to us and she told like she has a very low key function, not a very high function, a very low key function, and she wants something that doesn't have a very huge flare in it and have don't have sleeves, but at the same time very elegant as well. So we made this outfit for her. Even this, we what we do is like we sit with the client, we understand what they want and what they are preferable with and what they are comfortable in. So this is how our process works, and this is our one of my favorite option for men's as well, and my favorite creation as well. uh, and if you see this one, this is also a part of a new collection which is dropping in June. Basically, my inspiration for this was like rain, basically dropping in some kind of pearls. That the pearls are dropping from the sky. So for that, we have created a lot of lines and made pearls into it. So it looks like that it's raining. The pearls are raining. So exactly, if you see this also, it's like a making a those kind of droplets texture. So this is how what I'm trying to tell you, that you can take inspiration from anything and from everywhere. Inspirations are full of everywhere. Uh, so yeah, these were some pictures I wanted to show you. If okay, let's talk about something that become a very big part of fashion branding today. Working with influencers and content creators. Everyone wants their fashion and style to be visible, and for the best way to do that right now is working with influencers and celebrities. For me, from early on, I know that visibility would be the key. But instead of jumping into influencer collaborations immediately, I decided to learn how this world works. While I was still figuring out my brand, I started working under a stylist who used to do influencer styling. And I think that was a very game changing moment for me, because I saw how stylist plan looks, how creators think about content, how PR work behind the scenes, and what kind of outfit works on camera. It wasn't just about giving them clothes, it was telling them a story, matching their vibe, and making it effortless for them to say yes. Because at the end of the day, they are also creators and they have an audience which relate to them, which connect to them. So you have to be very careful while sourcing fits for them or giving fits to them because it has to connect with their personality. Because if the fits doesn't connect with their personality, how will the audience will connect to it, and how will you tell that the fit looks good on them? And during that time, I got the chance to work with creators like Yuvraj Dua, Sukriti, Shibani Bedi, Sayam Sharma, also known as Sharma Ji Ka Beta. While I styled Yuvraj and other influencers with my stylist work, Sayam actually wore one of my fit. That was a literally a proud moment for me. Let me try if I could show you that also. Sorry for the delay, it's just taking just a minute.
In the meantime, if anybody has any questions, you can just please raise it.
See, uh, this I did for him. This he wanted a very sleek look and a very many aesthetic look, like a very oversized blazer and very big pants. And this was a very big event he was going for. It was for Amazon Prime event. He was going have was a going for his launch. His new series was coming out on Amazon MX Player, I guess. So he reached out to me. So that's what I'm telling you. If you make connections and good connections in the industry, the influencers will come to you yourself. You don't have to be like running to them. Uh, but again, here's a lesson. It didn't happen overnight. It came through building trust. That's what I was telling you guys. That understanding the audience and giving them value, not just outfits. So if you are thinking of building your own label, start making relationship early. Even if it's just assisting someone or working with someone, I feel the exposure is very invaluable. And I guess you guys who are studying in ICF, you already have a very great head start. The college encourages you to beyond design, how to present it, how to promote and make it stand out on digital world, because nowadays digital world is everything. You have to present your outfits and ideas onto digital world, so if you so to gather mass audience. So it is very important nowadays that you are social and start talking about and to people and start making relationship early. Doesn't matter you have started your own brand right now or not, but making relationship in this stage will definitely gonna help you for the future. And the understanding of fashion of both art and business is something that will take you very far. And at this point, I would love to hear from you guys if you have any questions about starting your own label, styling influencers, and figuring out pricing, like how to find vendors, how to pitch to creators, or even how to deal with burnout. I'm here to answer them. So if you have anything, you do let me know.
No, that's popped it up. When it says, uh, I worry that I'm not talented enough because I didn't go to a top design school. How do I overcome that mindset? And
Sorry, ma'am, we didn't get your question. Can you repeat?
I that
Hello.
said, is worried that he is not talented enough, and he's still not joined any college or anything, so needs to know how do I overcome that and still make it good.
Okay, I feel you should not judge yourself that you're not talented. Everyone is very talented. You just need to start somewhere. Even I didn't even went to a proper design college. Whatever I learned through communicating with people. I even learned sketching through some Instagram courses, some YouTube courses. So you just have to take a step forward. You don't have to think that you're not went to a fashion college, so you can't start anything. You can do anything and everything. You just need to start somewhere. So work on yourself and start somewhere at least.
You know what? I would like to add on that. Bacha, yes, of course, if you are not very confident, you don't know how to sketch, and हम लोग तभी तो कहीं join करते हैं ना college. I agree. There's a lot happening online. You can get these free courses, and then there are a lot of YouTube sessions, classes, and everything. बट आप जब एक कॉलेज में जाते हैं ना, या आप कोई एक कोर्स फिजिकली कोई एक कोर्स करते हैं, तो आपको हमेशा हर चीज में एक हैंड होल्डिंग मिलता है. वो हैंड होल्डिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. आप इफ यू आर गोइंग टू द राइट प्लेस, वहां पे आपको नेटवर्किंग मिलता है. आपके सीनियर्स होते हैं जो ऑलरेडी इंडस्ट्री में होते हैं, वो आपको हैंड होल्ड करते हैं. आपके बाकी लोग जो वहां पर आपके फैकल्टी होते हैं, वो आपके मेंटोर्स बनते हैं. So it's a good idea, even if you do like a small course, but just go and you should go and take that thing up. जहाँ आपको artistic की बात है, जरूरी नहीं है. I get this a lot when people say I'm not good in sketching. बट आर्यन विल एग्री विथ मी. हमारे स्केचेस कोई नहीं पूछता है ना. हम किसी डिजाइनर के पास जाके नहीं बोलता है ना, अरे आई एम गोइंग टू गो टू गुची स्टोर एंड से नो, पहले तो मुझे डिजाइनर का स्केच दिखाइए, मैं तब का आपके कपड़े खरीदूंगी. हम ऐसा नहीं करते हैं. सो हमारे लिए स्केचिंग इज अ टूल दैट, और क्योंकि बहुत सारे ये कॉलेजेस इन सब, दे क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ग्लैमराइज कर दिया है स्केचिंग को, कि बहुत अच्छी स्केचिंग है तो आप डिजाइनर हो. बट वो ऐसा है नहीं. स्केचिंग इज आइडियली एंड ओरिजिनली वाज डन एज अ वर्किंग टूल. आप अपने कारीगर को समझाओगे कि जी ऐसा बनाना है, और ये फॉल आना चाहिए, ऐसा लुक आना चाहिए. दैट इज ऑल यू नीड टू नो. उसके लिए आपको बेसिक प्रोपोर्शन अंडरस्टैंडिंग की जरूरत होती है. And that you can learn. That's why you join courses, that's why you join colleges, because you learn how to do that. uh, Personally, I would not suggest you to spend too much time making that very beautiful. उतना ही टाइम अपने एक्चुअल गारमेंट पे लगाओ जो और सुंदर दिखेगा. सो क्वालिटी डिजाइन उस पे ज्यादा कंसंट्रेट करो. व्हिच ब्रिंग्स मी टू अनदर क्वेश्चन. somebody is asking, प्रस्तुति, सॉरी प्रस्तुति, मेरा प्रोनाउंसिएशन पहले गलत हुआ. कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन हाउ टू एक्सपैंड इफ वी डिजाइन our show, we design our clothes, I'm sure. So how do we expand it so that people can know about it?
Okay, how can you basically expand it? So to expand it, you need a very good visibility. That's what I told you, that you need to make relationship in this industry. You need to get out there, talk to people. And I feel in every sentence or every person you talk to, you should mention your brand or whatever you're starting. It's nothing wrong. The best way to promote anything is word to mouth. First thing, I feel like marketing, word to mouth is the best source of marketing. So try talking to people, try telling them that you're doing this and you feel like this will be a good thing. And obviously, the social medias and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube are very well versatile now. You should start posting them there. That it will help you to get some reach, and eventually, if you keep being very consistent about it and be persistent about it, it will definitely will get out and people will get to know about you. Even for me, when I started, I had no brand visibility or zero connections in the industry, but I built it. I went to different social circles. I talked to them. I told them that I have a brand, this, and I'm doing this. Then I started posting on social media. The person I told to them, I started collaborating with them, very small micro influencers. Then this is how I started to get some little bit of brand visibility. That's how the way you can expand it.
So for somebody who's starting, Aryan, my question this is, how, from a starting point of view, how do you manage these celebrities to or influencers to get to wear your clothes? How do what's the whole deal?
Okay, the process, how this thing works, basically, how do you can reach to.
आपको क्या करना चाहिए आप like कैसे I mean अगर if I'm one of these kids I will sit and say अरे how do I reach, why will people wear my clothes, why will they do talking about me, how and what. तो वो relevant एक question ये भी था, how do I keep my brand relevant, this is Divyansha is asking this. तो वो relevance कैसे रहेगा. Divyansha, I'll come back to your question, it's a very interesting question, but I'm just trying to understand one bit कि हम जब influencers से या हम किसी celebrity से बात करते हैं, so how does that, I mean, how do you reach out to them, how do you make sure that अरे आप wear my clothes.
Okay, let's just cover first that how to reach to these influencers. Okay, when it comes to influencers, there are different type of influencers. Some are micro, some are major influencers who are very big influencers, celebrity influencers. When it comes to micro influencers, you can reach out to them by just texting them that by giving a proper proposal that you have this design. It would be really great if they could wear in asking them for a collab. Like if they are going for an event, they can wear your outfit, and in the return, you can get some pictures from them for that, and they will return an outfit to you if you're planning to save some money on that. So you can obviously there are different ways to collaborate with them. It's either barter way, it's either you can pay them, or either you can give them the outfit in barter. These are the ways. This then when it comes to micro influencer, it's not that difficult. You just have to find the right influencer for your own brand. Like what is your brand niche, and what the influencer looking for has the same niche or not, or the audience he caters to, or she will connect with your outfit or not. So you have to choose the influencers very wisely. You can't just like that influencer has very good number of views or followers, so just I should just collaborate with them or her. So but for that you need to understand like the niche is very important, because at the end of the day you have to sell that or the fit you are giving to them, because you're basically doing it for some kind of marketing only. And when it comes to big influencers usually works through PRs or stylists. You have to look for stylists who are working with them. You have to see in their posts. When you see their posts, different kind of influencers, like big influencers, usually what they do, they give credits to their stylists, production houses. So you have to look for them, and you have to talk to them. Then they will tell you like how can you connect with them, how can you source to them. So usually when it comes to big influencers also, you just need the right contacts. When you find the right stylist for that influencers, you don't have to spend a penny for it. You just have to talk to the that stylist nicely and tell her or he that you have this fit and you want to give that person want you to wear the you want that the influencer to wear your fit, and it's all done. You just don't have to do anything. You don't even have to give that fit to that influencer. You just have to make good contacts and reach the right person.
I agree, absolutely right, contacts make a lot of difference, but I also have an opinion that हम लोग वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए हमारा इंस्टाग्राम बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए, हमारे डिजाइन्स बहुत अच्छे होने चाहिए, अपीलिंग होने चाहिए फॉर द रेलेवेंट, लाइक यू सेड इफ somebody is doing streetwear, तो मेरा स्ट्रीटवेयर उतना रेलेवेंट होना चाहिए, उतना इंट्रीगिंग होना चाहिए कि लोग कहें आई लाइक दिस, आई वुड लाइक टू ट्राई दिस, sometimes that makes a lot of difference as well. Okay, so there's Puri Mehra, she's asking how to find the price of a particular product. Somebody else also had said, I think Lalit is asking, how do you decide on the appropriate price of your collection? keeping the profits and margin. So pricing is a big thing.
Okay, even when I started, I was having a very major problems about pricing. So I guess this is where the colleges and institutes like ICF comes in and helps you to understand. For me, I didn't have anyone. So for me, in eventually when I started selling out, first of all, I first my in my first collection I overpriced everything because I felt like I have to keep my margins high because I'm a startup, so I have to also maintain my costs and everything. But eventually, when I grew, I learned that this is not how things work. You have to understand like what's the prices going in the industry, like what are the brands around your level are selling the products at. Then that is a things which comes in apart. The first you have to see your cost, like whatever the cost you are putting into it, the manufacturing cost, the electricity cost, your services. So first of all, I feel like people what who do all this, they just forget to include their own services into it. Like people, designers, like they will do a sketches over it and give it to the manufacturer, and they will just only count the manufacturing cost. They don't count their own cost, which is also very important for you to understand your value, your designing. You are giving your whole heart into it, so you need to understand that also. And after calculating all that cost, like manufacturing cost, electricity cost, and if you are having a space, then the rental cost, you have to include everything in that. Then you have to see the what the market is selling at. For instance, I made a product for instance, to me, the manufacturing cost for a product was 10,000. It was a manufacturing cost. Then talked to people, I saw the internet, and like that, I felt like that similar product was going around 30K. So it's basically 3x my cost, making cost. So that's how you have to figure out that things like how it will work. And sometimes you have to try and test out in the market as well. Sometimes 3x won't work for you. Sometimes 2x will work for you. But sometimes you even have to sell the products at a loss to make a brand visibility. But you have to try and test it out at what price your garments are going for. And if you're selling your garment at a very low price and getting loss on it, then maybe you have to cut cost on your manufacturing. Then it's like the other competitors in that market are making that similar product for a very cheaper price. So you have to figure out the things around the pricing, and that is also gonna work through try and testing out things.
But also, Aryan and Dalit, I think I should cater to this very, very strongly because I teach entrepreneurship and whatever. But I had gone to one of the fashion summits in Moscow, the BRICS Fashion Summit, and there I had somebody in the audience who had asked that I want to start a designer label, and I want it to be affordable for people to buy designer labels. Okay, so very noble thought, but ultimately आप मैं हम लोग सब we want to make money. अगर हम affordable करेंगे तो हम designer नहीं रहेंगे. The purpose of becoming a designer is that you are something above the rest. Okay, there is some kind of um, scarcity कि आपका बहुत मुश्किल से मिलेगा. Anything that we don't find easily, we are willing to pay more. So you're strategically, from brand strategy point of view, if you are available, your value is going down. So you have to make yourself really, really at a level where people would aspire to have one piece made by you. अगर आप एक बड़ा ब्रांड बनना चाहते हैं या बड़ा डिजाइनर लेबल बनना चाहते हैं, आई कैन नॉट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम अ लो पोजिशन. मैं अपने आप को कभी ऊपर तक नहीं लेकर आ सकती. Because if I'm selling a product for 100 rupees, it is going to be extremely difficult for me to sell it for 1,000. But if I'm starting at a 10,000 and I say, oh, okay, I'll give it to you at 9,000, it's easier for me to do that. And people will still want to buy that. Having said that, आप किस मॉडल पे हैं? अगर आप ऑनलाइन है, ऑफलाइन है, मास मार्केट ब्रांड है, डिजाइनर लेबल है, तो आपके मार्केट के कंपटीशन के हिसाब से भी you will have to work on your pricing. So Lalit, pricing is a very deep study, and pricing is not just, आपका कपड़ा कितने में आया, आपने स्टिचिंग कितना कर दिया. Like Aryan said, आपका अपना वैल्यू भी है. आप अगर घर से भी कर रहे हैं तो जिस कमरे में बैठ के कर रहे हैं उस कमरे के बिजली का शेयर भी आपको देना पड़ेगा, because that's a cost that you have added. So it's a deep study, and it depends on a lot many more factors. So that's something that you should look at. Okay,
I also
so there's
want
an
to add one more thing into this. If you are planning to launch your own brand and trying to sell your products online and want to have a visibility, I feel nowadays more than your product sell, your story sells. So try to make a story around your campaign. Try to connect with audience. Build your own personal brand. Show your face to the people on social media. Talk yourself. Like more than you're just showing, putting close to their face, telling them about something important is more important these days. You have to sell your own personal value these days. You have to be make your own personal brand to sell through now these days. Just selling
I
and design doesn't work nowadays. You have to sell your personal brand.
it's a very famous thing in brand studies, that people don't buy products, they buy emotions. So आप जितना कनेक्ट करेंगे उनके इमोशंस के साथ, वो उतना कनेक्ट करेंगे आपके ब्रांड या आपके you know designer label के साथ. So if you look at it, if you see Apple products, आप कभी होर्डिंग्स देखें, आप देखें कोई आपको प्रोडक्ट के बारे में नहीं बात करता है, उसको कितनी अच्छी फोटोग्राफ्स खींचते हैं, मेमोरीज कैप्चर करते हैं, ये है. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट इमोशंस. So
Yes.
again, branding में emotions are. So okay, so there's Purvi is asking you. My question was that nowadays ready-made wear trends are more. So how can we make place in the fashion stores?
Okay, so basically, what you are talking about, there do different kind of fashion. There is fast fashion, there's couture, there's art. So there are different spaces, and since the population is also growing, the need for fashion is also growing. But it's up to you what you have to decide where you want to stand. If you want to do fast fashion, then you have these big competitors like Zara, H&M. If you want to do haute couture, premium couture, then obviously there are big players also there like Manish Malhotra and all these. And what exactly I'm trying to say, the competition is everywhere. Whatever way you go in whatever business line, not even fashion, anywhere, the competition is everywhere. It's up to it's you who's going to start. But what other people don't have, it's your personality, your thinking, your imagination. So you have to work on that and go around that and start with something at least. So it's like competition हर जगह आएगा, but कहीं से शुरुआत करना बहुत जरूरी है.
तो एक और क्वेश्चन है किसी का, दिव्या का है. um, how do I keep my brand relevant when there are so many competitors in this field today?
Okay, this is something like I feel I can take only even I don't have that much experience, but what I feel these days, to being relevant in the market, you have to keep launching and working on new designs. I feel like the fashion is growing so fast, you have to launch a new collection in every 3 4 months to being relevant in the market. You have to put out your imagination, you have to put out your outfits so much in at least 3 to 4 months, every 3 to 4 months to stay relevant in the market. If you think and like yeah, I have done a market a campaign and you sit like for an year and won't do anything else, like a new collection in that period, then obviously you won't stay connected with the audience. The people will come and say like, "Ki, what's new?" The people always gonna ask what's new. Even in a month, they will ask what's new because everyone wants something new. So you have to stay in the relevant in the market. You have to keep working on it. You have to keep launching new designs. That's how you can stay relevant in the market. You can even collaborate with designers. You can like collaborate with friends who are designers. That's where you also can stay relevant. Like you are catered to two different audience. Like the person you are collaborating with, you are gathering catering to their audience as well. You're catering to your own audience as well. So that's how you can stay relevant in the market.
Correct. Also, I think सबसे पहले तो जब आप ब्रांड शुरू करते हैं ना, so there has to be one first movers advantage that you should take. So you'll have to understand अपना बिजनेस शुरू करने से पहले, अगर आपने अभी दिव्यांश, if you've not even started or you're just in the beginning stages, the first and very very important thing is आप मार्केट को पहले समझो. आपके कंज्यूमर कौन है? आप एक प्रोडक्ट आपने डिसाइड किया है, मुझे डिजाइनर बनना है, मुझे गारमेंट्स बनाने हैं, बट आपका टारगेट ऑडियंस कौन है? आपका कंज्यूमर कौन है? उसको कौन सा चीज चाहिए, कौन सी चीज नहीं मिल रहा है मार्केट में. समटाइम्स लेट्स से मेंस क्लोथिंग, नाउ देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु स्टार्टेड मेंस क्लोथिंग, पहले नहीं था. सो अब बहुत सारे लोग शुरू हो गए हैं, बट क्योंकि मान्यवर वाज द फर्स्ट मूवर्स एडवांटेज, उन्होंने शुरू किया फॉर मेंस वेडिंग कलेक्शंस एंड एथनिक वेयर्स एंड एवरीथिंग. So everybody is following the suit because वो successful हो गया, लोगों के पास अब और options आने शुरू हो गए, people want more options. Having said that, um, nobody is looking at how the young teenage boys are going to be dressing up. उनके लिए वही boring कपड़े हैं. So वो उनका क्या? So वो सिर्फ occasions पे जाएंगे तो अच्छे लगेंगे या नहीं लगेंगे उनके casual wears में. So of course, like Arun said, you have Zara's and you have Uniqlo's, etc. But beyond that, is there anything else that they can be tapped into? So you'll have to see, maybe उनको colors नहीं मिल रहे हैं, maybe उनको prints नहीं मिल रहे हैं, maybe उनको अच्छे fits नहीं मिल रहे हैं, maybe the fabrics are not so great. So is there anything that is missing in your genre of work? So pick on that in the first instance. So that gives you a way forward. Okay. इसका मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ, which I take sometimes in class. You've all heard of a brand called Biba, correct? Now, Biba was originally started when Mrs. Bindra went to Mumbai after she got married. अब वो पंजाबी हैं, और जब वो मुंबई गए तो उनको अपने सलवार, अभी नॉर्थ में तो हमारे लिए नॉर्मल है ना, हर गली नुक्कड़ पे हमारा एक टेलर बैठा होता है, वो हमारे कपड़े सिल देता है, मार्केट्स भी पास है. मुंबई डिड नॉट हैव दैट कल्चर वे बैक देन. सो उनको बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा था कि कहाँ से कपड़ा लाएंगे, एंड इट वाज अ टीडियस जॉब. So she thought that this is something which is missing in Mumbai, in that area of the geographical area. So what she did was that she came up with this thing that I'll start making ready to wear Indian ethnic. So that's where Biba started. So it became very popular because now it was available. पहले ready to wear में Western clothes were available. So she introduced ready to wear in ethnic. So she was the pioneer. She had the first movers advantage. And that's how she really grew tenfold. तो हमें शुरू करने से पहले ही एक मार्केट सर्वे करना चाहिए, कंपटीशन स्टडी करना चाहिए, कंज्यूमर स्टडी करना चाहिए, and then start with this. And then there's a whole lot of process and procedures that you need to follow and study, and and then take something up. Don't forget, हम लोग नए हैं इंडस्ट्री में, हमारे लिए agility भी बहुत जरूरी है. I mean, if I come up with a design, there are 10,000 other people, production units ही होंगे जो बना बना के उसके रेप्लिका 2 मिनट में बाहर निकालेंगे और सस्ते में बेच देंगे. तो हमको उससे पहले, like Aryan said, we have to keep coming out with new collections and new styles and new everything very very often, because लोग हर महीने में आके पूछेंगे. हम ये नहीं कह सकते हैं बिक नहीं रहा है तो अभी ये जो है स्टॉक बिक नहीं रहा है तो अभी कुछ नया नहीं करेंगे, तो नया करना पड़ेगा. So it's extremely important to take that on. So I hope we've answered your question, Divyansha. Anybody else with any other question? Wait, I'll just check here as well. Okay, there's one question. It says, what are some mistakes fashion students or new graduates make when entering the industry, and how can I avoid them?
Okay. What mistakes usually people do, even I did, was jumping start to making a brand. When I started, I was like, I want to make a brand, and I just like directly jumped to like I want to make a very big brand. I started designing clothes. I didn't study market properly. I didn't study pricing properly. I just made a collection, did a fancy shoot, spent a lot of money on that as well. So I felt like if I will do a very fancy shoot and I will make garments, it will sell, but it's not the reality. Reality is like I was making clothes which were looking good to me, but I have to make something which look good to people. You have to understand that you have to every time the consumer perspective changes, the consumer changes. You have to understand what the consumer mind is right now in that market. You have to understand the pricing in that space. So basically, it's important to understand your consumer. You have to learn your consumer. It's like if for example, I take an example, right now corsets are very much in like running. Like, every designer is doing corsets. So whatever who person ever started made a first move advantage to it, he has earned a lot. Then the people coming behind from it also adapted that thing that people are wearing corsets, so they started designing along the ways. It's not like exactly the people are designing the same designs, but people are designing on the same path. So you have to understand the consumer market because it's gonna keep on changing. So you have to understand what the consumer is up to. And jumping directly into uh, making a collection without understanding the consumer behavior and pricing is a very big mistake for every person. So just try to understand what consumers are willing and looking for.
ऑल्सो ये मुझे बहुत मिलता है क्लास में। सबको लगता है कि मेरा जो डिजाइन है, जब मेरा बिजनेस आइडिया है, वो परफेक्ट है। ये मैं सोच रही हूँ, ये बनाना चाहिए, और जैसे मैं बनाऊंगी लोग भागेंगे ये मेरे से खरीदने के लिए। आई विल बी सोल्ड आउट इन डे वन। वो नहीं होता। ओके, बिकॉज व्हाट यू लाइक, डोंट क्रिएट। अभी जैसे इसने कहा, डोंट क्रिएट समथिंग दैट यू लाइक। ये मुझे कलर पसंद है, ये मुझे स्टाइल पसंद है, मुझे ये सब पसंद है, ऐसा नहीं है। मार्केट को क्या पसंद है? आप अगर कहीं ऐसी मार्केट में है जो कह रहे हैं हमें क्वालिटी का कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, हमें सिर्फ खर्चना 1,000 रुपए, दिखना 10,000 चाहिए, ऐसे भी लोग हैं। अगर आप उस मार्केट को केटर कर रहे हैं तो वो भी ठीक है, वो गलत नहीं है। ultimately you are making profits out of that market also, so it's a good business. but आप फिर बनाएंगे वैसा, आपकी क्वालिटी वहां पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज करेंगे, आप उसको देखने में सुंदर बनाएंगे, आप उसको ग्लैमराइज करेंगे, आप सब कुछ करेंगे, बट क्वालिटी इज डिफरेंट। देयर आर सम पीपल हु डोंट केयर। वो अगर एक कॉटन का हैंड वोवन कॉटन फैब्रिक ले रहे हैं, sustainable fabric ले रहे हैं, organic fabric, they don't mind spending 3, 4, 500 rupees a meter for that fabric, but they know the quality is good. बट दूसरा कहेगा जी मुझे 60 रुपए में भी कॉटन मिल रहा है, तो मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है, मैं क्यों 600 वाला लूंगा? So both are fine, but you have to decide which market are you going to. So choosing the right market is also very important. And somebody here is asking, Shrishti, is how do you get to know your clients and understand their styles? So again, research, consumer behaviors. So
Yes.
all is there. So designing is all and all about understanding your clients and understanding your competition and creating something on your own. एक बहुत important चीज as a designer, I think it is very very important. हम लोग जब डिजाइन करते हैं तो हम सोचते हैं everybody has a perfect 10 figure, आर ग्लास फिगर। हमारी नहीं है भाई, किसी की ऐसी, हम मॉडल्स नहीं है। लोग जो नॉर्मल एवरीडे वेयरर है उनके फिगर्स ऐसे नहीं होते। तो आपका डिजाइनिंग का अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये होना चाहिए कि आपको अगर आर ग्लास दिखाना है तो उसको आप कैसे natural normal human being shape of your body, how will you convert it visually into a perfect 10 hourglass body? Bus, this is how as designers, I think you should look at. What do you say, Aryan?
Yes, definitely. एक चीज और what I feel like us as designers, हम लोग ना डिजाइनिंग प्रोसेस में इतना भे जाते हैं, हम इमोशंस में इतना भे जाते हैं कि हम लोग मार्केट सोचते ही नहीं है, हम लोग बस बना देते हैं और वो फिर पता चलता है कि वो अगर चलो मार्केट फिट हो भी गया, इट इज अ मार्केट फिट, बट हमने उसमें सब कुछ इतना डिजाइनिंग कर दिया, इतना प्रोडक्शन कर दिया, इतना वो कर दिया कि वो उसका कॉस्ट इतना ज्यादा चला गया कि अब वो मार्केट में वैसे फिट, मार्केट को डिजाइन समझ आ रहा है बट वो प्राइस वाइज मार्केट में फिट ही नहीं बैठ रहा। सो आई फील लाइक डिजाइनर, हम एज ए डिजाइनर हम लोगों को भी थोड़ा सोचना चाहिए, हम लोग को कहीं ना कहीं अपने इमोशंस को थोड़ा कंट्रोल में रखना पड़ता है कि हमें इस पीस में इतना ही करना है ताकि ये आउट ऑफ बजट ना चला जाए। तो हम लोगों को सब एक तब देखना पड़ता है कि हमारी मार्केट क्या है, हमारी किस प्राइस रेंज में, क्या प्राइस में रेंज में हम लोग कंज्यूमर के साथ डील कर रहे हैं। सो वी हैव टू सी एवरीथिंग, इट्स नॉट जस्ट द डिजाइन, यू हैव, इफ यू आर ओपनिंग अ fashion business, the business also is there, so you have to see the business part as well.
I think, do we have any more questions, Dipti ma'am? Can you just see if there is any other question or do we wrap up? Because I don't see any here. आपके panel पे कुछ आ रहा है, Dipti ma'am? I don't know if she's there. Anyways, then I think it's not going to be there.
No, ma'am, there are no questions.
Okay, so great. Thank you, Aryan. Thank you for sharing all your insights. It's good to hear the new breed of designers coming and sharing. It's actually lovely to see you kids growing. And last thing that I would like to say to everybody who's here at this webinar session, I hope you've learned something. And I'm also hoping that you're taking this a little more seriously. Ek minute, somebody else has put in one more question. I think I should take that. Sonam, how to make a proper collection? Would you want to answer the last question, Arjun? How to make a
Sure.
proper collection?
Okay, the process of how to make a proper collection. Uh, for that, you have to understand the market. You have to understand what season you want to launch the collection. So you have to need to understand, like, if you are doing a summer collection, you have to pick the clothes which are very summer friendly, like cotton, linen. Then if you're going for winters, then you have to figure the fabric according to the winters. Then when it comes to designing, you have to, as I told you, you have to look for different kind of inspiration on it. Then that inspiration just moves ahead and you start making a product. Like when like I tell you, like as I'm planning to launch a collection in the June, so we are planning for something like which is summer friendly, and our aesthetic is very much more towards Indo-Western. So the whatever work line even I showed you today was a mixture of a Western and Indian work lines. So for my inspiration for that collection was something related to nature. Like I told you, like the rains. Then I connected the rains with the pearls, with a broken mirror. Then I saw that I could create something embroidery over through that. So you have to see that. Then you have to make a whole line of collection according to it. Like if you're going for a summer launch, then make a collection which is very summer friendly, which looks good in summer. The colors which are summer friendly. Like if you are going for a summer options, then go with colors which are very summer friendly. Like it's not you have to go with very darker colors. You will try to go with a very lighter tones that people feel very free and breezy in it. So that's how it works.
Yes, and Divyansha, it is both rationalism and emotions. You'll have to look into it on every point of view. So thank you, Aryan. Thank you again. And to wrap it up for all of you who are here with us, thank you for spending time. Brilliant day, and you've taken time out for us. I mean, of course, it's for your good also, but it's good. It's a good step that you've taken. That you've taken a step forward to understanding where your future is going to be, how you want to, take it forward. And my last words to you would be uh, try and get the right value for the right education that you are getting. it is very, very, very important to understand which direction of your learning you have to look at, because just designing, like I said, is not enough. Just understanding the market is not enough. Everything goes together, and it's an example that I give in every session and every class that I do. It's like baking a cake. हमारे को हर ingredient उसके right quantity में चाहिए to have a beautiful fluffy delicious cake. So हमें एक इतना अच्छा सुंदर business बनाना है जो successful भी होगा, जो popular भी होगा, जो लोगों के साथ emotionally connect भी होगा. So all that has to be learned. Yes, when you're learning on the ground, it's a learning. Like Aryan said, you can learn, while you're at it. But जो आप अपने स्किल सीख रहे हैं, उस स्किल्स के साथ साथ अगर आप ये सब भी सीखते हैं, वो ज्यादा आपको जल्दी एक कैटapult कर देता है कि आपको आपका सक्सेस थोड़ा जल्दी आ जाता है. So for you to learn designing is important, and the meaning of designing is very different. So usko thoda aap log get out of the mold of how the designing, like a creative, very overly creative, beautiful design, that's one thing. Yes, वो creativity flow अच्छा है, सब ठीक है, but वो creativity हमारा बिकेगा कि नहीं, वो important है. कौन खरीदेगा, वो important है. कितने में खरीदेगा, वो important है. तो हमें उन customers तक कैसे पहुंचना है. Somebody had asked a question of whether going to an exhibition is a good thing. How do I reach to a store? So there are various ways that you have to look into. So उसकी learning भी important है. तो आपका learning of designing becomes 100 folds more experiential and um, uh, valuable अगर आप ये सारी चीजें सीखते हैं. So you'll have to understand the 360 degree of the design industry, not just one. एक बहुत famous saying है ना, jack of all, master of none. But that is a half saying. अगर आप उसको पूरा पढ़ेंगे, so it says jack of all, master of none, but better than mastering just one. मैं एक ही चीज बना सकती हूँ और एक ही चीज कर सकती हूँ, उससे मैं बाकियों को कैसे इग्नोर करूं. मुझे वो एक चीज लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए बाकी चीजों की भी अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए. So my suggestion would be, get into a course which gives you the value for your time, money, and understanding, and invest in your future. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Aryan, again. And we will all get back to you in case you have any queries, any questions. Dipti ma'am, if you can just put your number on the chat for everybody to take a look so that they can get back to you. And if you all want to, talk about your careers and you want to, you don't have to come and take admissions, but if you still just want to come and discuss it, just take your appointment and we'll be happy to help you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Aryan,
Thank
once
you.
again. See you.
See you. Thank you, everyone.